Hello and welcome to the Blind Review. Today we are going to be checking out a pedal by the company Boss, and it's the Blues Driver, which is one of their great overdrive pedals. Just hope you all enjoy. Nice one. Have a listen. Guitar pedals. Some of them are very user-friendly for blind people. Some of them are very confusing for blind people. Some of them are very confusing for people who can see very well. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so I'd look through my gear and I just thought I was looking at my guitar pedals and come across this one, which is an overdrive pedal by the company Boss. Everybody knows this pedal because it's pretty famous. I think it's called a Blues Driver, and I've got it in my hand right now, and basically it's just simple, pretty straightforward. I mean, you might need someone to tell you what certain bits and pieces are, but once you know what I mean. Like, so we have got a box, like they're fair sized Boss pedals, like they're quite, like, maybe would have been nicer a little bit smaller, do you know what I mean, so you can get more on your pedal board, but you can't have everything. All right, so I've got it in my hand. Yes, it fits in my hand. It's like a nice little wedge in my hand, do you know what I mean? Wouldn't want to conk someone on the head with it. So not looking feeling the front of it, yeah. So at the bottom of it, you've got the bit you step on, you know what I mean, to engage and disengage the effect. Then above that, if I'm feeling right, there's 3 pots. Okay, and I've been told already what the pots are, so I will tell you. In the first pot is level, the second pot is tone, and the third pot is gain, right? Above the tone knob, which is set slightly lower than the other 2 knobs, there is a little red light that comes on when you engage the pedal. So basically, yeah, it's in my hand. At the bottom, you've got the bit where you step on, and then above that, you've got the 3 pots. You've got the level pot, which is sort of at the top of the pedal, and then just over from that, but a little bit lower, you've got the tone pot. Then again over from that, but a little bit higher again, which is in line with the level pot, is the gain pot. In between the gain and level pot is where you find the little, well, it's a little bulb or whatever, but yeah, it's the little red light. And then below that is the tone pot. So that's basically it on the front. Like, it's pretty straightforward to remember. Like, yeah, pretty good. And then, so to the left of the pedal, if you run your hand along the side of the pedal, all you feel is an input, and it's a 1/4-inch jack input. And then on the other side, it's exactly the same. If you run your hand down it, it's just a 1/4-inch jack input, and that is, the input is on the right and the output is on the left, but they're both 1/4-inch jack. Then if you turn it so the bottom of the pedal is facing you, and you run your hand along it, where the thing you step on is to engage and disengage the pedal. There's like a little round thing where you can unscrew it, and then the bit that you step on lifts up, and then you can put a 9-volt battery in there if you want to. If you turn it round to the top of it, the top bit, the flat bit at the top, there's another input, which is a 9-volt DC God, forget forget what it's called. You know what I mean. To put a power supply. Yeah, sorry. There's a 9-volt power supply thing in the top. Obviously, if you're using, you don't have to use the battery. Do you know what I mean? And that's pretty much it. And then on the bottom, there's like a spongy sort of rubbery bit around the outsides of the thing. But I've actually got some Velcro stuck on the bottom, so I can stick it to and pull it off of my pedal board. But yeah, and then that is it basically. The color it's a dark color. I couldn't even tell you what color it is, but yeah. So that is pretty much it. Do you know what I mean? It's just like that's the top 3 pots. Feel them with your fingers. 2 larger pots that are higher up, which are level and gain, and then the tone pot, which is a little bit smaller than the other 2. It's just a bit lower as well. And then above that, if you feel, there's just like the little light bulb. And then on the left, you've got the output jack, and on the right, the input jack. At the bottom, if you feel, just where the where you engage and disengage the pedal, there's like a little round thing, and it's like got like a grippy sort of bit around it, so you can unscrew and screw that back up. But that's where the 9-volt battery goes inside. And then at the top, you've got the power adapter, 9-volt input, and that's it. That is it. Simple as that. So now we will plug it in and have a little muck about with it and see what sounds we can get out of it. Okay, nice one. Okay, so now I've set all the gear up, my sort of little in my studio. We are running from an Epiphone Uptown Cat, the bridge pickup, and we're running into an Orange Pedal Baby 100 power amp, and that is plugged into a Sub-Zero 12-inch cab, which I originally bought just because I couldn't afford the Vox cab that I wanted. So I thought I'd just get that to have something for the time being, but it's all right. It ain't done nothing wrong to me, you know what I mean? Okay, so I've got the pedal in front of me, level, we're going to stick that at 9. Sorry, I'm going to take a second to do this because I can't really feel for the little white line, so I have to sort of really struggly look at it. Okay, so that's at 9, and then the tone is going to be at 9, and which is even harder to see because the little white bit on the small pot is very minute, and like my little tiny bit of vision is just not really helping me. And okay, and boom, we'll whack the gain up to 9 as well. Okay, so we will is that on? Yeah, okay. Right, so the pedal's on. Let's have a little, just a couple of little chords just to see what we got so far with everything at 9 o'clock. Okay. Okay, so that was with everything at 9 o'clock. Okay. I think for blind people, I think you should get them little tactile things that you can buy, well, you can get them on the internet. They're just basically little bobbly stickers that you can stick in places, and I think sticking that where the little white dash is will help you out very much. So, and even if you're fully sighted and also fully drunk, you never know, might help you out too. Okay, so we are going to weft everything round to 12 o'clock. So I am going to go to 12 with the volume, but I think the volume will stay at 12 because I am in my studio, which is in my mother's house, and she will come up here and beat me with a broom if I make too much noise. All right, so let's whack the so everything at 12. Let's have a little listen to this. Okay, so that was everything at 12 o'clock. I am now going to leave the level at 12 o'clock, and I'm just going to pop the tone round. Sorry, struggling again to see. Yeah, there's not really anything to feel either, actually. Yeah, so there's or sell something that you can stick on the top of these pots that can be better for blind people. But I'm sure there's loads of third-party companies that you can get them sort of things from, you know what I mean? If you pop into the RNIB in King's Cross, if you're in London. If you're not in London, get on the RNIB's website. I bet they've got stuff there. True. So I've put the tones round at 9 o'clock now, and now the gain is going round, and you can hear that amp is starting to whistle a bit. Okay, so let's see what this sounds like. So that was with everything round at 12, and then sorry, but I have to leave the level at 12 o'clock. I mean, that was everything at 9 o'clock. Now we're going to max out the tone and the gain, and you can really hear that amp starting to squeal. Yeah, let's have this last little. Okay. All right, so I will now roll back that gain because the amp's whistling like a wildy coldy. Yeah, so okay, so that was a small review, like a small checking the old Boss Blues driver out. Yeah, so let me just put the guitar down and we can speak. So okay. Yeah, so that was a little checking this Blues driver out, but so let's have a little round up on what I think of it or whatever. I mean, it's the top effect. It's Boss. It's do you know what I mean? It's top. These like some Boss effects can get really complicated. Like I've got quite a few of them, and like when I could see it was sweet as a nut, but then where I've got sort of, I don't know, 15, 20 boss pedals, you sort of forget where all the controls are, you know what I mean? It's hard to remember so many. But I'm gonna say that these 3-pot pedals, when especially when there's only one input, one output, you know what I mean, all that stereo and all that mad stuff that you get on the chorus pedals, and that is a bit mad, but yeah, this is straightforward. Like it's there, it's in my hand. It is a bit of a wedge, you know what I mean, but I suppose that's quite good, you know what I mean. Like maybe they could like have the bit that you step on light up. That'd be great if that little square would light up, because then you could just like, you know what I mean, it all helps. And the little red light bulb, it's not that bright. I've got some cheaper effects by a company called Donna, and they've got like when you activate them pedals, like their little light is proper bright, like. But Do you know what I mean? But I mean, as far as like someone who can see, this is a great effect. Like the Boss Blues driver, do you know what I mean? It's a great overdrive. And price wise, they're I don't know. I can't really remember. I bought it such a long time ago. I did try to have a little look on the old interweb to see the prices of them, but I was getting all mad. Like there was a craft version of it now, and like basically, I was coming across it from about £75 up to about 200 quid. I wouldn't have paid 200 quid myself, so I know it weren't that expensive when I bought it, but about 150 is my max that I'd got up to for a pedal, I think. And so I reckon this was when I bought it about 100 quid, I'd say. But yeah, but as far as someone who can see, yeah, buy it. Go on, you don't need no help. It's great. Someone that can't see, yeah, that I mean, if I wanted a slightly smaller pedal because I want to fit more on my board, and do you know what I mean? I like it to be like one small board, you know what I mean, with the 7 effects that I use, and basically the board that I've got, you can only fit 5 Boss effects on it, so they're slightly big for me, but that's probably a good thing for blind people actually, that they are a bit bigger because you can, you know what I mean, like, but it's like I've got it in my hands, and basically one side of it there's just a jack input, the other side there's just a jack input. Where the pedal bit is, there's a thing that you can unscrew and screw up, and you can do that with your fingers. It's made so you can do it with your fingers. You don't need no screwdrivers or whatever. At the top of it is the power supply input. As I say, the bit that you unscrew, you can unscrew it, put a battery in it, and then there's just straightforward 3 pots, level, tone, gain. They're nice for the fingers. They're not too fiddly or whatever. It's actually a great pedal. Like, yeah. You probably ain't gonna be able to, from my silly bit of guitar playing, you're not gonna be able to like really get. And obviously, like well, the guitar was recorded. I had on the amp, I had a Shure SM57, and my the mic that I'm using to talking to is a Behringer B1, but I didn't turn that off while I was doing that. So when you hear the guitar, you're hearing it through the 2 mics at the same time, but you're not gonna get a great hearing of, like, do you know what I mean? You need to go and try it out for yourself. Get down the shop, you know what I mean? Whatever amp you've got, hopefully the shop's got a like amp, or just take your amp with you to the shop. You know what I mean? Like, tell them you want to play it with your guitar, your amp, whatever. You know what I mean? Go down Denmark Street. All of the shops down there, they're all helpful. You know what I mean? They'll be happy to let you bring your amp in there and plug it in and stick this thing on it. You know what I mean? But for blind people, yes, these 3 pot pedals that Boss do, they're perfect. They are perfect. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you've got a little board, you only want 4 or 5 of them on the board. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, perfect. So I rate this pedal. Yeah, it's a good pedal for blind and for sighted people. Yeah, but yeah, so my verdict on the matter is buy it. Yeah, definitely. It's a good pedal, man. Okay, so that is this month's the blind review, and next month I will see what other gear I've got sitting about. You know what I mean? Never know, I might see if there's another pedal with another Boss pedal up there in my stash of pedals. But I think that the 3 pot pedals from Boss, I think they're the way forward for someone that's blind, because I mean, like the reverb that I got from RV6 or whatever it is, yeah, it's got like 4 parts and they're a lot smaller, and then they do a lot more stuff, and there's a lot more stuff to select and all that. And I mean, at the end of the day, it does become quite hard. Do you know what I mean? So I think for simplicity, like this Boss Blue driver, great overdrive, go and get it, put it on your board. Do you know what I mean? Like once it's all rigged up and that, you know where you put your guitar in, you know where you put your amp in. You know what I mean? And then you've got these 3 pots that are a good size for your fingers and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and basically level, tone, gain. You know what I mean? You don't even have to remember that. You know what I mean? If you start playing with the pedal, with the pots, you're gonna know straight away what does what, because it's just simple in your. It's there. Do you know what I mean? It's sweet. Yes. Yeah, I am a big fan of Boss. I like Boss. Yeah. So yes, a nice one. Thanks for listening.
The Blind Review.